Hello and Allahu Akbar, the Baha'i greetings to all the people of the planet, to those who understand the humanity as an individual, as an a whole, and they are a part of the whole. They act accordingly. I greet you all. Today is one of the topic on the matter of the spiritual ascendancy of the soul. I'll take up the topic of the wish and the desires that we have as a human being. Usually the wishes we have or the desires we have is mechanized either through the greed, we are greedy, or it's because of the competition, and lots of times because of the need. Many times we desire something, it's simply we have it, but we think we should have more because we are underestimating always or overestimating what we require. Always we are like that. As a result, the sign of this is that many of times we get things and then we apologize from ourselves. Why did we do this? Why did we do that? Why did we waste our time in making so much money now we're so old we can't even use it? And other times we really don't have these wishes, but it's mechanized by the competition. We don't need a car. But because other people around us, our friends, acquaintances, they have the car and we want to have a car. When we get the car, then we try to get rid of it and get a better car. And so on and so forth. And the bad things about this is that in this competition we waste our energy and power which we have, very limited, into something that literally is not required. However, if the desires and wishes are mechanized by the need, that would be a true wish and true desires, because there are things that we need, we have to have. But the problem is that we have to understand the difference between the need and the greed. In order to understand the need, it's very simple, it's not very difficult. Everyone can see this. Anything we want to do, we'll have to have a tools, we'll have to have an instrument, we have to have some way to get there, some ways to do it. So there are things that are tools, make us to get there, and then there are goals. Like we want to go to a distance because we have a job there, then we need a car. And then sometimes we say, no, I can just get a train or I can get a bike. We have to distinguish exactly ourselves, estimate it properly, that what are the needs. And these needs are not goals, or they are goals. Anything material that we need, it's really a tool. A car cannot be a goal for a person. Buying a house is not. Having money is not. Money and the car and any other material tool, things that we want, is to make us to get somewhere, and everyone knows that. That's happiness. So if we spend all our time, all our life accumulating more and more material, then we have lots of tools, but still we have not got the goal. It's like a carpenter who has spends all his money to buy tools, and there is no money left for him to start to build his house, because he has spent all his power, all his energy over buying tools. You know, we have to understand this, the priorities, see how much of it has to be tools and how much of it has to be goals. This is very, very important. So these wishes and the desires we have, I have also categorized it as to be crossing or it is parallel. Let's say we love a woman or a man. That man or woman may be loved and desired by another person. So there are two people wanting one thing. That's where competition comes, that's where things crosses. Usually fights and battles and depression and stress and all that things happens there. This is where the rule comes, the laws comes, whether in religion or in the social structures of the government. Those are the rules that they come so people don't cross each other. And most of the time, material desires, which comprises of the tools, it becomes a crossing issue, you know. But the spiritual desires, which is the final goal, and by spiritual, do not be misled by some kind of a church or by some kind of a mosque or by some kind of a name. No. The spirituality of a man is his happiness. But he's happy. Overall, he's satisfied with himself. And he has understood the meaning of this life and its transitional force and power. That's what a spirituality is. So these parallel desires are very important. Let's say you want to become a doctor as a student. Who likes this? Your father. Whatever up you go, your father, your parents, they like it. Your sister, your mother, your friends, they all love it. Your government, your country loves it. You become a better taxpayers by the Canadian standard. You could help others save lives in poor countries. These are parallel, you see. Whatever we do, in this case, it doesn't hurt others. It's not in competition. We do something for ourselves, and we are in line with the wish of God, with what God desires, with what our government desires, with what your friends desire, with what your parents, your mother, your children, everyone, nobody disagrees with it. And that is a simplest way to understand the spiritual needs and the spiritual desires from the desires that are wanted by others. About the matter of desires, there are a few quotations by Baha'ullah. Many of us, we go to ask God, Baha'ullah, give us this, give us that, give us this. We're basically taking God and His manifestation as our servant. We're trying to hire Him to do things for us. Hey, I'm short of this, God, could you do this, could you do that? We're not asking Him for Himself, as if we don't like His company. Because when you're asking to do all of that, let's say Romeo meets Juliet and they are in the room. Instead of Romeo asking the Juliet, he says, hey Juliet, can you bring me a coffee, my love? Okay, could you fetch this for me, fetch that for me, and just keeps ordering her to bring things that he wants. So this love of Romeo towards the Juliet is only to fulfill the desires of Romeo. It has nothing to do with Juliet. This kind of, see that how harmful it is, how stupid it is? But we don't see that. We're doing the same thing to God. In the hidden words, Baha'u'llah has this statement, quote, he says, "O friends, prefer not your will over mine. Prefer not your will to mine. Never desire that which I have not desired for you. And approach me not with lifeless hearts defiled with worldly desires and cravings." You're going to God, to the spiritual being, and asking Him, God, I need money, I need this, I need that. Isn't that amazing? That from such a subtle such a huge begetter of yours, you're asking him like a servant to fulfill. Just like a little child who asks, Mom, give me that, Mom, give me that. There is no love in the child towards the mother because of his immaturity that only asks mothers to fulfill what his stomach wants. We approach the same way to God. The other quotation is this quote, O son of a spirit, ask not of me that which we desire not for thee. Then be content with what we have ordained for thy sake. For this is that which profited thee. God says, I know what you want. We have desired certain things for you. We know that will profit you. But we keep asking him for other things. As if his creation of you and the world was not enough. It was not sufficient. So you're asking for more. You're objecting at the situation. But, there are desires that we have towards God which we could ask. We could run parallel. We could ask God, help me to help others. Help me to teach Baha'i faith. Even that, whenever I ask God, I get the answer that He tells me that, Master,